Welcome to the One Gang Worldwide podcast, your ultimate ride into the world of motorcycles. Visit cyclesworldwide.com where we offer a completely free marketplace for everything motorcycles. Join our One Gang community where you can connect, share info, and swap stories with riders from all over the world. Join for free at cyclesworldwide.com and be a part of the One Gang community right now. On today's episode of the One Gang Worldwide podcast, we have the pleasure of speaking with Alex Radu, the racer and entrepreneur behind rentmypitbike.com. Alex has created a unique company that provides teaching, training camps, simulators, and workshops, ensuring riders have an awesome motorsport training experience. Today, Alex will dive into how rentmypitbike.com started, his racing career, including the Isle of Man, and some crazy stories along the way. So let's jump into the conversation and learn how Alex is changing the way we ride and enjoy motorcycles right here on the One Gang podcast.
Yeah, I quickly climb over the wall. The marshal came to you, says, "You're okay?" "Yeah, you're okay." If you're okay, so if you don't have something broken, dead, whatever, they don't stop. So your team can come and get you after all the qualifying is done. So I stayed. I was covered in oil. Yeah, in somebody's back garden. The lady brought me like a blanket, a cup of tea, and we were watching the racing. And my bike was lying there on the side. So,
Hey, One Gang, if you enjoy the podcast, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can turn notifications on to hear when new episodes are dropped too. Any of your engagement supports the show and helps us book great guests and keeps us going. If you or a friend would make a great guest, hit us up at cyclesworldwide.com or drop a comment. Thank you guys so much.
One Gang Worldwide podcast, brought to you by Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping. Since 1978, Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping has been the trusted name in transporting motorcycles safely across the country. With custom-designed pallets and air ride trailers, your bike is secure and protected every step of the way. By choosing Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping, you're supporting a dedicated small business that prioritizes quality and customer satisfaction. Ship with a peace of mind, knowing your motorcycle is in expert hands.
Please visit shippingmymotorcycle.com. That's shippingmymotorcycle.com. And now, back to our show.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. We've got Alex Radu with us today with Rent a Pit Bike. This is going to be a fun conversation. We're happy you've joined us and looking forward to the conversation. Alex, thank you, man.
no problem. Thank you for the invite.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, buddy, for joining us. This is going to be a good one because this young man has done a lot of cool things, and he's taking his talents to help others. So let's basically let's do like we do every show. Let's start it off by letting our audience know where you grew up. Were motorcycles a part of your early childhood?
Yeah, so I grew up in Romania, in Bucharest, in the city capital. So I was always surrounded by bikes, two wheels, things like that. So my uncle, he used to be on cycling. He used to do a lot of cycling professionally. He was like 20 times national champion, things like that. So of course,
Wow.
I start with bikes immediately. I jumped on the bikes and like push bikes. And I was from a really young age. I started pedaling, and then he did a transition into motorcycling racing, and naturally I followed. So basically, he told me, "Look, we have this club where I joined, and he won a couple of national championships and things like that." And he said, I was at the time, I think I was 8, and he said, "Would you like to join the racing?" And I always looked up to him, so I said, "Yeah, of course." But being so young back then, like if you would have told me jump from there, I would have done it because I was always looked up to him, and he was kind of my idol. And then we started. We went there, and they said, "Look, unfortunately, you can't ride bikes yet. You're too small. Would you like to try karting?" So I started with go-karts for a couple of years.
Go-karts.
Yeah,
Nice.
go-karts. Yeah, so I've done go-karting for a couple of years till they said that the karting divisional were gonna be dissolved, and basically they said, "Would you want to test one of the bikes to see if you have the abilities to come and join the racing team?" I remember now, like they took me into open field, and they've done like a small track, and you needed to be able to ride the bike. Imagine, I never rode a clutch bike in my life, so they've showed me how to feather the clutch out and things like that. And I remember they were like, open it up, and when I opened it up, even to this day, I don't think I ever matched in my head that feeling that I had when I first opened the throttle on that 50cc bike, whatever. But for me, it was the fastest thing ever. So yeah,
Right.
from there it started. So then I started racing in junior level and building my way up.
Alex, what was that? Dirt bikes or was that sport bikes?
No. I went straight into. I wish I went to dirt bikes, but I went straight to road bikes. So we started
And how old were you at that point?
10 years old.
10 years old. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And we've done like the categories was like this. You had 50cc, you had 50cc plus, which was actually an 80cc. Then you had 1 to 5s, 250s, 600s and 1000s. And we started with 50cc, and I raced a couple of years with 50cc's. I won the national championship, the European championship. Then we moved to 80cc. I raced those as well, the 80cc's, which was an amazing upgrade. If you jump from a 50cc to an 80, was amazing. At the end of the day, looking now, back then was like jumping from 16 horsepower to probably 18 or something like that. But bear in mind, I was still a very young kid, so for me it was amazing. And then they started with the 1 to 5s, which they were the like proper GP setup bikes. The team that I raced for was called Stella General, and they were sponsored by Repsol Honda. So we were racing Honda's 1 to 5 cc's and 250s, which for me the 250s was the best bikes ever to ride from my point of view.
Cool.
And and from there I raced 1 to 5s, 250s, and I reached the age of 16-ish, and I didn't have the proper guidance. I found other attractions, let's say, and
should we get into that, or do we make another show about that one?
I think we can make another show about that one. Yeah. So basically, I went to my dad. I said, I don't want to race anymore. And my dad, not being involved in the sport, he said, if that's what you want, that's what you do. So I stopped around 16, found other ways in life. I worked on cruise ships and things like that. And then I bought myself a bike. And imagine me coming from a racetrack, never rode in my life on the roads. I only knew full throttle, full brakes. That's the only thing that I knew. So I was a danger to myself and to others riding on the streets. And luckily, some of my friends, they said, you know what, you're too much of an idiot to be riding on the streets. And they said, let's go to the last round of the championship, of the national championship. At least there, like, you calm down when you ride the bike. And that was first time me going after 4 years back on the bike. Yeah. So
wow.
I went.
How did you make these friends? Where did you meet these friends from? Were they friends from when you were racing before?
No. My
was it just a crazy coincidence?
No, friends that I had where I was living, like childhood friends and things like that. For some reason,
Gotcha.
I always was surrounded by people in the industry. You know, like also my friends, they were riding bikes. They were, not to the level to push to be professional, but they were doing the odd race and they were riding. They were part of clubs and things like that. They were older than me.
Okay.
So they were.
Yeah.
I was like the youngest of the group, and they were always trying to give me the proper advice. And it's not okay to do that on the streets and But of course, me being 20 years old, everything was like didn't care, not whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
we went and we've done that race, last race of the championship, and literally with a dead stock bike. I had the rubber hoses on the bike, like dead stock. And yeah, so I won all 3 races. And something sparked in me. I said, this is what I want to do.
Dang.
Like, I love doing this. Why have I stopped? So then I set my goal to do that and to start racing and any means necessary to do that. So I came up with a plan. I was working in the winter. I was lucky enough that I was working in the casino industry, hence being on cruise ships and things like that.
Mhm.
So initially, yeah.
Ah,
And then I joined Pokerstars as a tournament director. So I was working with them with in their tournaments, and I was trying to race throughout the remaining of the year. So I was working for them, for example, from normally from end of October till end of March. So from April I would have started racing again, and yeah, I've bought myself a bike because that one that I had.
hey,
would you
real
buy?
quick, Alex, what is real quick though for listeners who aren't familiar, tell us about Pokerstars, because it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so
you know, some folks might not know about it.
Pokerstars is, or used to be, I don't know at the moment, but used to be the biggest online poker site in the world. And they were huge at some point. They do all sorts of poker tournaments, European poker tournaments, world poker tournaments, a lot
Yeah.
of finals in Las Vegas, all over Europe. So was a huge network of people playing poker, and I was working with them, and later on they became my sponsors. I'm gonna tell you the story about that later on.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
yeah. And yeah, so that bike that I had, I crashed, was a Gixxer K5 600, and of course I crashed it on the road. And then I said, 600, nah, I'm gonna get myself 1,000. Stupid. But I got myself a Z.
Not fast enough.
Yeah, I got myself a ZX10, and then I start. Okay, I need modifications now. So, and I was lucky enough that I surrounded myself with people that they knew the sport and they understood better than I did the sport, because I went. Imagine all the friends that I had back then. I was already back in the paddock, so all the
Right.
guys that I was speaking, they were, you need spare fairings, spare wheels, that, all the bits and bobs. So I went with the list to one of my good friends, and who was my mechanic, became my mechanic afterwards. And he said, you're gonna quit racing before you restarted it, with the price list that you gave me, with the list of parts.
Right.
Yeah,
You're gonna
so-
be broke.
Yeah. So he said, what you need on the bike, it's simple. Take fairings, and that's it. Let's go racing.
Right.
That's
Keep
it.
it
Yeah,
light.
yeah, like
Right.
and then the way we've done it was quite smart. So basically, I raced the first half of the season with the bike completely
You
stock.
raced at 1,000 cc's?
Yeah.
You raced a 1,000?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's big. That's a big bike.
yeah. And the thing is, it was a bit hard in the beginning because I skipped the 600, and then after 600, after you get used to the 600 with the power, with everything, you jump on 1,000.
Right, of course.
I jumped on a bike with no traction control or nothing. It was like doing this with me every single time. I was a passenger on the bike.
Right.
Like
Man.
I had zero control of that bike, but
Right, of course.
I've done it. You know, the young age for me didn't care. I just wanted to be full gas, full brakes. That's it. That's all that I had in my head.
Right.
And this guy, this mechanic that I was telling you, he was involved in racing in the past. He used to be a mechanic for Kawasaki Europe when they were doing the World Endurance Racing. So he gave me, he kind of guided me through, and so I raced half of the season with the bike stock. I had just a slip-on exhaust on it, and then he said we went to a local track. The local track for us was in Greece, in Ceres. So we went there to test. And I remember the first time when he put brake lines, like braided lines, on the bike, and I went and I braked where I normally brake. Now I needed to put a bit of throttle to get into the corner. I was like, wow, that's so amazing. I went back to him and I said, look, you were right, because he was telling me, no, you don't need to upgrade now. You just need to learn the bike. And then it kind of made sense, because I went and every single upgrade that I've done to the bike made sense. It helped me become better and faster, because what he told me, look, we can spend money on the bike. We can put suspension, that. We can put all the bits and bobs that you can think of, but you're going to arrive to your maximum, not to the bike's maximum. So like this, we started with nothing on the bike, and every single upgrade that we've done on the bike made me faster and more confidence into the bike. And when I first had my hands on a Brembo brake, I thought I got by the legs. Like the feel of that, like my first master cylinder, I still have it at home. It's on the wall. I still have it. That master cylinder, it's something that changed my whole mentality of how and why the bikes, and how the bikes they run, and all of that was like mind blowing when I got my hands on that Brembo master cylinder, But so I raced the European. I won the European from the back of my van. The first European that I won it from the back of my van. Me and him. Pokerstars, they were doing, used to do this, they were calling EPTs, European Poker Tournaments. So they were like qualifying rounds for the final that was happening in Las Vegas. So they were doing Prague, they were doing, they had Prague, Monaco, Vienna, Venice. So they were, and I was following them around, working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Always they had the tournaments Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. From Thursday back to racing. So I literally slept in my van and took showers on the side of the road. And
how old are you at this point?
I was 21, 22 years old.
Okay.
So I said,
You're
this
definitely chasing the dream.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember I was getting paid, and I said, like, I had holes in my shoes. I was like, okay, should I get myself a rear tire for the next race, or should I buy myself a set of, like, a brand new set of shoes or something? And I was buying a set of tires and the super glue to put the shoes back together. Yeah. So,
but, Alex, it's probably as a 20-year-old, I'm sure you didn't want to hear that. I want to get all these upgrades. I'm sure you didn't want to hear just fairings, let's go race.
Yeah.
I'm sure you wanted to get everything slapped on the bike right away. But I think that that's probably a blessing in, looking back, because as you did individual, itemized upgrades, you were able to tell exactly what it did to the bike, and how it affected acceleration, handling, etc. So you were able to identify, if there was an issue, or if something needed improvement, or if something was sluggish, you could compartmentalized which upgrade it was. So I imagine that's probably some of the best advice you received early on.
Yeah,
that's cool to think about.
100%. And I actually use this to this day, and also to my riders. And we're gonna go to that a bit later on. But yes, it's something that I always give people, like, and this is what I was speaking with Sergey when we first met. I said, look, in the UK, it's a funny meme. You have like 2 windows, upgrade parts, huge queue, and you have tuition, 2-3 people there. I always say, get yourself tuition and then start upgrading your bike. Tuition, nobody gonna be able to like any upgrade you can buy, we're not going to be able to tell what somebody with experience can tell you. You know?
Mhm.
For sure.
And
Hey,
and
Alex, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this for the audience, myself, I'm sure Ben too, who've never raced professionally. Can you kind of take us a little bit on your daily routines? What type of training you had to do? How did you keep yourself in shape? How did you keep yourself motivated, obviously? And the mental challenges it took on you. I mean, I know you're only 21 at this point in time. So obviously you're young. You're full of energy and adrenaline, but I'm sure you've had your peaks, ups and downs. Take us a little bit through that journey of living in your van, going to the races, and the things that you had to consistently do to keep yourself up and ready.
so I was lucky enough. My upbringing, I don't know, but I'm very strongly, I have a very strong mindset, you know, so I
Mentally, okay,
mentally, yeah, I'm very strong mentally. And
Yep.
I used to be very, like, you couldn't break me that easy. And I had the goal, and I just wanted to get
Mhm.
that. And that's it. Like, doesn't matter what needs to be done. I knew that, I understood that they were the steps to get where I wanted to be. And I accepted
Right.
them,
Yep.
and I just faced them. But I remember, like, imagine my race bike was my training bike, was everything, you know, like my training bike, my race bike, my spare bike, it was all in one, you know. So
Yep.
I was turning up to go-kart tracks and things like that. So for me, I understood early that I need to spend time on the bike to get to know the bike
Mhm.
as best as I can. So
Right.
bear in mind I was on the road always. So I would find the go-kart track, I would go there, put the bike on, and I had always with me a couple of spare tires that people they throw away like they were done. So I was putting those on and train with them. And I think
Oh, using the old tires and then I
yeah,
gotcha, I gotcha,
yeah. Like, for you to understand, my first season, I had the money to buy a brand new set of tires in the beginning of the season, and I was using those tires just for the race.
Mhm.
That's it. And
Gotcha.
I was doing
Gotcha.
qualifying every other free practice and everything I was doing on used tires, or people they were like, they were selling it for $20 or something like that, or something that they wanted to get rid of. I was putting it on and do it, you know, because I didn't have the budget. I didn't have the money to buy tires. You know,
Alex, let me ask you a
Yeah.
quick question when then you continue on. When you had that situation, you had your race tires and then you had your practice and regular tires. Did you have two sets of rims, or were you taking the tires on and off
no,
the
what to
rims?
sense of rims? I had one set of rims,
One
and
set of rims, so you
one
were
set
ripping
of
the
rims,
tires off, putting them back on. No
and
shit. Wow.
so I was going to go these go-kart tracks, and I said I'm gonna. I created the routine in my head. Uh, um, so I was doing like 4 20-minute sessions, but flat out, like I was close to 100%. And I understood
Right.
because that was gonna keep my heart rate up and things like that. Then the tires, they were
Sure.
starting to slide, and I was trying to manage that. When was to the point of no return, I was taking the wheel off, put the tire the other way around, and go back out, because a lot of the tracks, like for example go-kart tracks, they're more predominant left or right. So if I was on a more predominant left track, the left hand side was getting demolished.
Right.
I was taking it off, I was switching the tire the other way around, putting it back on, go back out. Yeah, like
Damn, you're crazy, dude.
the no, I think that was I didn't know better, you know,
Well,
like
of course.
that was what I knew. So, but always when you train, you had in the back of your mind this, I don't want to crash this bike, because I need to race this bike. So my best friend when I was racing was cable ties and gaffer tape. My yeah. So they were
And WD-40.
back then you didn't have WD-40. You were soaking the we were soaking the
Spit. You just spit on it.
no, we had a bit of petrol, you know, like taking it
All
out
right.
on the
Yeah.
rug and use that rug on all places to clean the chain and
Right.
everything, you know. So
Jeez. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that was my routine. And then when I start to understand, and I was lucky enough that I was racing European. I didn't race locally, so I could see other people what they were doing, and I was trying to copy what they're doing, the way they eat, the way they and something that I didn't like was the fact that everybody was so secretive. Like I went and I was imagine I was a kid, so I was going to older people that they raced for longer. Like, oh, you took so nicely that corner. What do you do in that corner? Because you just pulled away from me.
Right.
And everybody, they were so secretive. Oh, why you're so secretive? Like, why would you not share with somebody who wants to learn? Like it's not that I'm gonna beat you tomorrow. Yeah, the idea is to beat you in a couple of years' time, because that's that we progress. But share. And since then, I said, when I'm gonna stop racing, every single bit of information that I know about bikes, I'm gonna share with everybody. And I kept my promise.
That's the right mindset.
Yeah, and I kept my promise.
Awesome,
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All
right, Alex. So the next topic here, I saw a stat a few weeks ago and it blew my mind. So I did a little bit of research, but 2024, the Isle of Man, for any of you listeners that aren't familiar with Isle of Man, it is the craziest race in history. And 2024 was the first deathless race, for lack of a better term, but there were no fatalities in 2024. So I did a little bit of research, found out in 1982, that was the last deathless year. And the race started in 1907. The first death was 1911. And then since 1937, the only 2 years that there were no fatalities were 1982 and 2024.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, I'm going to shoot myself after that statistic, man. Holy smokes,
what
a way to start it.
It's insane. So to give listeners an idea of how insane the race truly is,
average,
we want to hear all about it.
So in average, there are 2 deaths a year. In average, used to be 4, but
since
so
what goes into the mental preparation,
let me tell you,
physical training, the course, the challenges.
So let me tell you how I got there. Because from racing in the van, from racing from the back of the van to get there was a long journey.
And how old you were?
2013.
Yeah,
so 2013, I was 29.
Okay.
So
29, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've raced Europeans, and I used to work with Pokerstars a lot. So I said, why don't I? Because I understood what they were looking. They were looking for publicity and that. And I've done myself a business plan back then. I've done a business plan.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I took on as a teammate another guy who was winning the rookies championship. So like this, we can stack up our winnings and to create a nice CV for the team. So I went to Pokerstars and I presented a nice project. Like, the van does this X amount of miles per year. We're going to be branded with Pokerstars, la, 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 la. To cut the long story short, they accepted it. We negotiated back and forth how much money they gave us, la, la, la. Anyway, we set up with a brand new team. Yeah, with a very good budget for European. Was mind-blowing, the budget. Yeah.
Nice.
First round of the championship, I blew 3 engines. I crashed 2 bikes.
Wow.
Jeez.
Oh.
Yeah. So
what a way to start, man.
Imagine all the media was there, all the journalists, and they came into the paddock, into the box, and I just get out. Like, I started shouting. Like, I didn't care about media and things like that. Later, I understood that that's a huge part of motorsport, but I just wanted to race. And anyway, I won the championship with them. The following win, I won again the championship. And in my head, I said, I want something else. Like, you either take me worlds or let's do something else. I'm sick of beating these guys up. Like, I want a new challenge. And I always knew about the Isle of Man since, like, I think 2004, 2005. I got my hands on a couple of DVDs with the Isle of Man, and I fall in love with the place. I said, wow.
Oh, gosh.
So, and I knew Pokerstars. They used to be the main sponsor of the main race of the senior TT race. Pokerstars was the main sponsor because Pokerstars, the headquarters of Pokerstars, was on the Isle of Man.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Tax purposes.
Didn't know that.
Tax purposes.
Yeah, tax purpose,
Yeah.
of course.
And
Everything's all tax purposes.
and I was like nudging them. Come on, let's go. So I was in direct contact with the regional manager for Europe. Like this girl, Christina, she was in charge of everything that we do, our budget, our trips, our media. She was in charge of everything. So she was the bridge in between Pokerstars and us. Yeah. And I was like, come on, let's do the TT. Let's go to the TT. Come on, let's go to the TT. Let's go to the TT. And they said, look, end of 2012, they said, you won the championship. Like I won every single race without even touching the budget for crashing. So they were,
Wow.
yeah. So I need to show a picture the previous year. So
Oh gosh.
It's all right, man. Live and learn. That's what life's about.
They said, look, let me try to pull some strings, and we go there. I went first time when I went there. For me, it was a joke. Yeah. So I think the riders in general, the people who are in motorsport, they're lacking the common sense wire, like you can't go there and say, oh, I want to do this. Like if you look a couple of videos from the TT, you're gonna say, no, no. Like
your self-preservation
like
part of your brain is not
look,
there.
Valentino Rossi, 9 times world champion. He went there and said, no, I can't do this. No, it's not for me.
Jeez, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So
gosh.
And I went when I saw that video, I said, wow. And she said, yes, we go. So when she said yes, I had a PlayStation 3, I remember. No, PlayStation 2. Because this game was for PlayStation 2. It was called Tourist Trophy. And I think I've done around 10,000 laps on it. On the PlayStation. Yeah. We were missing a lot of things back then. And so we met Milky, who he's the official trainer for the course. So you hop in one of his cars.
Gotcha.
And you do practice on the cars to understand and to learn. Normally they say you learn the track in more or less 2 to 3 years. So you need to, okay, nowadays you have a lot of things that you can watch, but back then even YouTube had very little videos that you could watch, so and so basically we went there. We've done the qualifying with Milky. I was lucky enough that I came as the European champion, Stock 1000 champion, and I got a free pass because normally to be able to race there, you need to gather some signatures. And so that means you need to race in the UK on their local tracks and gather signatures so you can upgrade your license to go and, because you have 3 types of license in the UK. So you can go there and race. But because I was the champion, I came to Pokerstars. They put me directly in the main event. And so I learned that one. In terms of preparation, by this point, I already knew. I was cycling a lot. I was taking care of my fitness. I was taking care of what I ate. I was very careful with that.
Right.
That was my job. I was a full-time paid. I was a professional rider. I was getting paid to race. So everything that comes with, because a lot of people, they say, you live the dream. Not quite, because nobody's been with me in the hospital when I had all my injuries and things like that. People, they don't understand. I was going out with guys and they're having a beer. I was having water at 10:30 in the evening. They were going for a club. I was going back home to sleep because at 7:30 I needed to get up to do my routine. So definitely
disciplined,
very disciplined, and a lot of sacrifices. But at the end of the day, it's all worth. That's my honest opinion about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I went there, and okay, we flew there for the main event. We went there 2 weeks prior. So we went there as a newcomer. They said, we're not allowing you to ride the 1000cc. You need to ride the 600. And thank God for that. So
Yeah.
I went, I've done all the practices. I was quite fast.
How many practices do they give the riders? Like, how many times can you do that course before the race?
So it depends. If you're a newcomer, you do with Milky, you have 2 weeks where you do, you have 6 laps in those 2 weeks.
Yep.
Then you have 2 free practices, qualifying and race 1, race 2. The not problem. I think was a bit the problem because I was quite fast from the get going. I had a good pace, yeah. Fast, they're the guys who were breaking the lap record, but I had a good pace for the first time being there, and actually they told me, dial it down a bit because you're way too fast.
Why?
I was way too fast for a newcomer. Because the track, imagine you're on so I don't know how much you guys know about the TT, but basically you go on an island.
I've seen it many times. I mean, never rode it, but
Yeah.
seen it, videos and things of it, and I find it absolutely.
Imagine.
I've got stuff pulled up separately real quick, Alex, for the Isle of Man stats, and it's 37.73 miles long, and it has 219 turns, and it's a mountainous course.
Exactly. So,
and the lap record is 16 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yes. That's Michael Dunlop did it this year. It's the fastest.
16 minutes? Holy shit.
Yeah. The average speed, I think it's 138 or 139?
136.
136. Yeah.
It looks like one average speed of 136.
Yeah, 136, yeah.
16 minutes and 36
miles an hour.
That's
wow.
Yeah, with 219 turns.
Yeah.
So for your average speed to be 136 point something miles per hour with 219 turns in 37 something miles, that is numbers
and listen, anybody listening to this podcast, guys, Google or go to YouTube and put in Isle of Man and just watch what type of racing this is. This will absolutely blow you away.
You can put Isle of Man, Peter Hickman, M1000RR on board. You're going to understand exactly because that shows you.
Oh, it's an onboard video?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it again?
Peter Hickman.
What's it?
Peter Hickman, which used to be the fastest guy on the island. He won it last year and the year before. So Peter Hickman, S1000RR on board.
S1000RR on board. Got it. I'm going to check that out after
Yeah.
this, dude. I gotta see this.
And if you want to see another one, is James Illier with the H2R. Again.
We'll link this in the show description too.
Thank you for that, man. I can't wait to see that. To be able to see it from a GoPro point of view, it's got to be insane.
Yeah.
Hey guys, the show will be back in 1 minute right after a word from our sponsor.
Hey, One Gang, tired of feeling like your butt's taking more of a beating than your bike on those long rides? Introducing Butt Buffer, the ultimate solution to saddle soreness. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. These cushions are made from medical-grade viscoelastic polymer, scientifically crafted to eliminate pressure points and keep your circulation flowing. No more numb nuts or numb butts. And here's the best part. Butt Buffer cushions are made right here in the U.S. for the last 30 years. From Harleys to Hondas, we've got a cushion to fit your ride perfectly. Plus, with styles ranging from sleek pebble polymer to luxurious sheepskin, there's a Butt Buffer for every rider's style. Get your Butt Buffer today at buttbuffer.com. That's buttbuffer.com. Your butt will thank you, and you'll ride longer and happier. We've got your butt covered.
And so then you go there, we do the practice, we do those, and everybody was like, chill, calm down. I was super hyped. I was like, oh, I got this. Bear in mind, you are on an island. They shut off the traffic, and you go. Like, literally, you go. You have sidewalks. You have everything that you can you can think of. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when I started and I was doing the laps, it's so surreal because you look from outside, it's scary. But when you're there, you're focused on what you need to do, what turn is next, what you need to do, what's the other one. So we're going back to my qualifying. So I was on qualifying, and I took it with ease the morning before the qualifying because I said, I got it. I had a good pace the previous evening. I got it. I'm just gonna go out. And immediately after turn 13, I went into the town and I got lost. I didn't know if it's a left or a right hand corner. That's your biggest enemy when you ride the TT.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, then I said, okay, let me stay onto the middle of the road and see which way and try to anticipate. That was in my head. Thank God somebody overtook me on the outside, brake in front of me and literally flicked the bike on the left and went.
So you knew where
And
they
I
were
was
going.
like, down. And when I put the bike down, lost the front, the bike slid, hit the curb, jumped over the fence, in somebody's yard. I hit the wall. Yeah, I quickly climb over the wall. The marshal came to you, says, "You're okay." Yeah, you're okay. If you're okay, so if you don't have something broken, dead, whatever, they don't stop. So your team can come and get you after all the qualifying is done. So I stayed. I was covered in oil. Yeah, in somebody's back garden. The lady brought me like a blanket, a cup of tea, and we were watching the race. And my bike was lying there on the side. So,
wow.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't qualify. And then the event went on, and I said, "This is what I want to do. That's it. Job done." In my head, I was set. And they said, "Look, so not a lot of people know you have the Isle of Man TT, which is in May, end of May to beginning of June. And then you have the Monks, which just finished now, which is end of August. Monks, basically, it's the warm-up, if you want to call it, for the TT. So if you do well in Monks, you're going to qualify for the TT. So it's like a newcomer championship. So if you do well in the Monks GP, you're going for the Isle of Man. But you can't come back from the Isle of Man to do the Monks. So they have a nice set of like...
It's up and coming guys, right? That are trying to get into the Isle of Man.
Exactly. So in my set, I said 2014, that's my year. Let's prepare the bike. Let's do everything. And then Christina from Pokerstars, they said like, that was the plan. We left the Isle of Man, happy to be alive. We left. We said, I need to raise the Isle of Man again. I love this. I loved it. I loved the vibe. Like, it's such a quiet town when you go to do the introduction laps. It's such a quiet town with very few people on. And when you go there, like in 2013 when I went, I think there were, I can't remember exactly the population of the island. I think it's like 30,000 people or 40,000 people. And they were like, they came on 2013 and was the hottest period of the year. We had amazing weather. And I think there were 80,000 visitors. So imagine.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So prices of the ferries and everything, it's expensive. You can't find nothing there. They're like, but when you go to GP paddock or you go to World Superbike paddock, the average Joe can't get into the paddock, can't see the riders. The Isle of Man, it's open. You can go anywhere. You walk and you see Guy Martin. Hey, or you see McGuinness, or you see Hickman, or you see Dean Ellison, or like. First time when I went there, they blew my mind because you didn't have that access when you went to other paddocks and things like that. Like imagine like, to do a comparison, you go to GP and you see Marc Marquez and you see Pecco Bagnaia. Like literally, you have a beer with them after you find them in the pub after after the race, having a pint, and
Right.
you see Marc Marquez, you see Pecco Bagnaia, you see Bezzecchi, and you're like,
Yeah.
that was the impact that TT had. And then I said,
cool.
I'm going to prepare for TT. That was my goal. And they came back to me end of 2013 and they said, look, we made the budget for next year. We can put you either to race in the European Endurance Championship, which is something that I was always looking for. I always did the endurance racing because I loved, or we do the TT and maybe we have the budget to do the national championship. I said, no, I'm going to skip TT this year. In my head, I said, I'm going to come back to it, but I wanted to do the European. So I've done the European. And
why did you decide to skip the TT?
Because from the experience that I had, if you don't qualify, you don't qualify. But that's it. You go home. But that's a lucky scenario. But
right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but then that was my budget for only one race a year. Like, it's not like they said, okay, let's do the road championship. Let's go to Ireland. Let's go to Northwest and all of that. No, they said we do the TT and that's it. So of course I wanted to race. I wanted to have, because I ended 2013 on such a good note, and I wanted to carry on that. And also for me, it was a progression from European to European Endurance Championship, which
endurance.
Yeah. Like there were 8, 12 and 24-hour races, which was, and bear in mind, I was starting to get a bit older. Yeah. So in 2013, end of 2013, I raced against Toprak. The Toprak Razgatioglu.
Yeah.
I managed to beat him, but I rode 120%. 2014, so 6 months after. So this was October. And in March, we met again. I saw him on the starting grid. He went in the distance and I saw him in Parc Fermé. Like, and now I calm down a lot, but I used to be extremely competitive. So I said, I'm going to, if I can't win races, I'm not going to race. Like, I don't want to be third, fourth. I don't want to be one of the pack.
Right.
No disrespect to nobody that is racing and is mid pack or and back of the pack. My mentality there was wrong. I know that, but that was my mentality at this point. If I can't win a race, I'm not racing. So then I said, okay, age, let's go to European, new challenge, new thing. Let's see how it is. So we went to that path. And then after I stopped racing, I found myself on another career path. After you stop racing, you're like, what am I doing now? So I found myself working in luxury watches business, timepieces.
Hey, Alex, that actually kind of transitions into the next question where we were going. It's good that you brought that up. I mean, you kind of decided you were going to retire from racing at that point in time of your life. You took on some corporate gigs. You did some work and some things like that. But then in 2020, you had a vision and a passion to open and be a co-founder, CEO of Rent a Pitbike.
Yeah.
Can you take us through the steps on how this vision became a business and what went into launching it?
Yeah. So
why you launched it?
Yeah. So I raced, and at the end of 15, I said, it's becoming harder and harder because I wanted more and more, and it was becoming harder to put the money together. And
sure.
Yeah. So I said, I'm not going to, I still kept racing till 18, but just the rounds that I loved, but nothing to the level that I used to be in the paddock of full superbike and things like that.
Right. Of course. I get it.
Yeah. Like couple of local championships, a couple of European rounds, couple of Alpe Adrias, and just few of them. And I said, what do I do after racing? What do I do with my life? So I went to the path of, I said, what do I like? Bikes. I didn't want to be a bike mechanic, and I kind of had enough of bikes. So I wanted to step a bit in a different direction. So I always had a passion for watches and timepieces. So I went that way. I said, okay, what do I need? I was in Switzerland, and I said, what do I need to do to become good in this job? And they said, yeah, you need to get your watch expert license. And
Right.
I was like, watch expert? How do I do that? In Switzerland was a 5.5 years course. I said,
Wow,
too long.
5.5 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I said, where can I go? I started Googling, doing a bit of research, and I found that the UK offered the same Fédération de Haute Horlogerie, the same accreditation, in 3.5 years.
Mhm.
So I said, UK it is for me. I came into the UK. I done quite well in the competitiveness in me kicked in. So I wanted to be the best at what I'm doing. Luckily enough, I achieved that in sales and things like that. And
Good.
I was working so much, and nothing was like interesting in my life. Just work, office, home, office, home. I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do the TT again, and I'm gonna tell you something now that you never heard again. So I went on eBay, started to look for a bike, and I met my wife. So my wife I met on eBay. So
that's funny.
So I was looking
Did
for.
she come with the bike or?
Yeah. So I was looking for a particular bike. I was looking for a Kawasaki 636 because in my career I raced most of my career for Kawasaki. I had a good partnership with them, and was a bike that I knew to work on it very well. I wanted to do it again from the back of my van. In my idea, I said I'm going back to the TT, do the TT, just as an amateur, just as for fun. So I was looking for a bike
Right.
with fairings, with a quick shifter, with pegs, like a bit prepped. And I found exactly the bike that I was looking for, and she was selling it. So we met up. I went to see it
Oh, no way.
and never left. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's so funny.
yeah. And then the pandemic came, and we had. I bought a pit bike for myself. I bought a pit bike for her, and one of my friends had a pit bike. And for me, Saturdays I was going to a track, just having a bit of fun, putting it sideways and enjoying. Blow some steam.
Sure.
Like
Blowing steam off. Yep.
yeah, blowing steam off, enjoying, relaxing after a week full of problems and try to sort out other people's problems. Was a me time. So good that I could have shared my passion with my wife, and I could have shared my passion with my friend. London being London, they stole the bikes from a secure place, secure garage, anyway. And so now the pandemic came, and I was at home. How and where can I find pit bikes to rent? So I can rent one till I'm gonna buy one. And nobody had pit bikes to rent. I said, interesting. Let's try to do that. Well, yeah. So I said I spoke with my wife, and I said, why we don't start this business? And she's being amazing like she is. She said, yeah, let's try. So, worst comes to worst, we buy 2 bikes. We start with 2 bikes on finance, and if doesn't work, we still need the bikes, so we're still gonna use the bikes. Perfect. So we started in the pandemic, and she did all the back of house website, everything. So I can tell you left, right, gas, throttle, brakes. She's the brains behind everything else. Nice. Yeah. So
right.
And we started with the pit bikes, and we started in the pandemic. I was going to work and was doing pit bikes just Saturday and Sunday. And at some point she said, you know what, stop going to work. like I can see how much enjoyment you have teaching other people on pit bikes, and I can see when you're coming from work how you are. And he said, "Stop. We're gonna sort it out. Don't worry. Let's commit.
Or a woman.
Let's commit to
Wow.
pit bike."
Awesome, man.
So
It's a good woman.
yeah. So every single penny that we've made, we put it back in the business. Buy more bikes.
Yep.
Trying to be better and that. But I said, okay, I know how to train, but I want to do it correctly. So I went to Spain, Chicho Lorenzo school. So when I stopped racing, I got my license from him. Yeah, so I can
Nice.
my accreditation. And
Absolutely.
he had an amazing theory about coaching. He said to me, you cannot teach somebody to do something that you cannot do. So he said, if you want to teach somebody to slide, make sure that you know how to slide. If you want to teach somebody how to back it in, make sure that you know how to back it in. If you want to teach somebody how to elbow down, make sure you can do it. If you want to teach somebody how to open the throttle, make sure you can do it correctly. And then I started to implement this. And I don't know if you went on our website and read through the feedback.
I did, yep.
We never had a client who never came back to us for a second time. Like
Awesome.
And I realized that I'm doing what I love. So for me, it doesn't seem like I'm working. And so we started with that. Then I started thinking, how can I improve my business? How can I improve what I'm doing? Because, okay, amazing. People are coming, we're training, we're doing nice things. People, they evolve. How can I bring this to the next level? So being in the UK and you have a lot of bad weather, I saw the opportunity with the Moto Trainer. I was fiddling with it for a while. I was looking how the simulation can help this scenario. And me and my wife, we committed for one. We bought a simulator. For you to understand, we have 4 at the moment. So we committed for a simulator and we start training people on the simulator because, and I'm going to give an example. If both of you come with me on a track day, the hardest thing is I'm going to fight with your old habits. So it doesn't matter that I'm telling you, go out and do this with your head or put the hand in this position or lean this way. You're fighting all habits. So what I can do on the Moto Trainer in 1 hour or 2 hours, we're going to take us probably 2 days on track. Because on the simulator, I'm exactly in your ear. Like you're on a static bike, which could be your bike, like it's a real bike. And you have all the features. The throttle picks the bike up, brakes, dives the fork. So gives you exactly the feedback as a real bike. So for example, if before going on a track day, I put you on the simulator and we start working there, I'm giving you advices. You still have in your head to do what you used to do. But then me being in your ear, drop your head here or drop your shoulder or do this, put the hand in this position. So immediately you can alter the old habits and replace them with new habits. So that's
does Alex, can I ask you this? Sorry to cut you off, buddy. I just want to ask about regarding the Moto Trainer. So in that situation, if you have bad habits as a rider, right? Because I'm just curious about this because I've seen the Moto Trainer. It looks amazing. So if you have bad habits as a rider and you're on that Moto Trainer, does it help you correct the things that you're doing wrong?
Yes. So
it does. Okay.
So if you don't have with you somebody that can actually explain what you need to do and in what position you should be or what you should do, or to set up the simulator correctly for your weight and things like that, that is not helpful at all. And I've seen a lot of examples that people, they use the simulator wrong. But if you use it correctly, the simulator will going to blow your mind. I'm going to give you an example. a guy came to me in October. Yeah, so it was a bit rainy-ish. We found a good day. We went on a pit bike session. He went out on the pit bikes. He couldn't ride and he said, "Look, I really want to ride. What do I need to do to be able to ride fast?" I said, "Look, it's not easy and it will take time. Yes, I'm willing to do whatever you say. I'm gonna do." Perfect. We start with the simulator because it was already winter. He did 200 hours on the simulator. Yeah. So then he did all the most of the sessions on pit bikes that we had, because okay, you're training on the simulator, but you need to actually put it in practice. And again, if you put it in practice, you need to put it under supervision. You can't, I'm gonna go there, you know. And then he did our Spanish camps. I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. And last year, he finished second in the BMZ championship.
Wow.
Yeah. So in one of the championships.
From somebody who couldn't do it in the beginning very well, and now,
and if you see,
what progress.
And if you see his body position on a bike, we're gonna blow your mind, because we train how you should do it. Doesn't matter the capacity of the bike that you're riding. And not only him, because last year I created a team, because I asked all the guys that they were training with me, okay guys, what do you train for? We don't know. We want to get better. Get better for what? To go on a track day and be the fastest?
Right.
Doesn't make sense. I said, why don't we make a team and we race together? You race in my team. And I created a team, and I had 5 guys in my team. And we finished second, third, fifth, sixth, and seventh in the championship.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. And all of them, when we started, in between all 5 of them, probably they had 3 track days done by that point. Apart from what I worked with them in training. And from my point of view, the simulator, it's one of the best tools that you can do. Take for example, in hindsight, all the Formula 1 teams, they never test outdoors nowadays. They don't test outdoors. They only test on the simulator, because they can load the data and all the tracks are laser scanned and like they have all of these amazing simulators that cost millions and millions. But for them, imagine if you want to go from the UK to Spain, tires, logistics, that.
Right,
of course.
Yeah. So that's why everybody went to simulators. Okay, I don't say the Moto Trainer is at that level of finesse. It's a different type of machine, because when you're sitting like this, you can replicate the lateral forces and things like that. But the simulator, from my honest opinion, replicates 97% of what happens on the bike.
97%.
Wow.
Yeah. From my honest opinion.
Alex, to get some insight, to just kind of rewind a little bit, but to give listeners some insight, talk about rentapitbike.com. You guys do, you have training camps, you've got track days, you've got the Moto Trainer.
Yeah, so we do.
Tell us a little bit more about what you do. And then if I were a parent, what would it look like if I were a parent of a kid I'm trying to get in? What would that process look like to get into involved, essentially?
Initially, I said, I'm going to address people who wants to improve on the bikes. Yeah. And people, they were coming to pit bikes. Then I brought as an add-on to the company to use it in the winter, the Moto Trainer. And then we bought a couple of others.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I said, okay, where we have good weather? Spain. I went to Spain. I spoke with the track, Gas 74. We went there near Alicante. They have 300 sunny days a year. So I bought bikes, and I created a training camp. Basically, you pay a certain amount of money and you have everything included. Like, we pick you up from the airport, we drop you off at the hotel, we pick you up from the hotel, we bring you to the track, 3 meals a day.
Super easy.
Yeah, like it's done to the point that you shouldn't spend a single penny apart from your flights and the money for the camp
Right.
itself. Yeah, so all the damages are covered, and the way it's
Nice.
structured, we start like this: breakfast, physical training, because you want your heart rate to you want to bring your heart rate a bit higher up when you start
Be
to
elevated.
to ride the bike. So we do a bit of stretching, which this program was created by one of the BSB's personal coaches and nutrition specialist. So it's a 15 minutes exercise
Cool.
of stretching combined with fast pace that brings your heart rate up.
Calisthenics.
Yeah. And
Yep.
Believe me, everybody can do it. We have clients from age 9 to 76. We have
Wow.
yeah. We have people that are 76 years old and they've been with us 6-7
That's
times,
awesome.
and
That's
they improve
awesome.
massively.
Man.
And then we start with cone training, which I'm telling you this: if I had, when I raced pitbikes, Moto Trainer, these training tools that you have now, I would have went worlds without a problem. Without a problem. I can 100% say that, because for example, in the morning we do the cone training. I don't know if you saw what cone training basically is. Like, this is something that the Spanish, they focus only on this. They don't go for track days, because in their mind, a fast corner, everybody can go fast around. At the end of the day, you just close your eyes and open the throttle. Yeah. But the technique to go around that corner, that's something else. And that you need to control it at slow speeds.
Yeah.
So we start with cone training, which is dedicated for your needs, because my training program is not something like, sorry, you need to be level 1, 2, 3 like other schools. Yeah, level 1, 2, 3 doesn't matter your level, you need to pass through all 3 levels. No, mine, we take only 6 people at a time, and mine is bespoke for your needs. So I bespoke your needs according to, I bespoke the training according to your needs. So after the cone training, after lunch, we jump on Super Sport 300s and we go on the big track. Yeah. We averaging a minimum of 100 laps a day.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
100. Geez.
2 out
Alex,
of
and what do you when these guys are jumping on the 300s at this point in time, and they've got all those laps to do, what are you watching out for? What's your goal there?
They, again, depends what their needs are. If somebody needs to work on their body position, we're going to work on that. If somebody needs to work on their throttle control, we work on that. If somebody needs to work on track positioning, we work on that. So that's why I don't take more than 6 people at a time, because 6 I can manage easily. I go out with them on track. I never tell them follow me. For me, follow me doesn't work, because I accelerate, you accelerate. I brake, you brake. I turn, you turn. But if you remove me from the picture, what you're gonna do? So what I do,
it's reactive, right?
Yeah. So what I do, I go behind, and I follow you with the camera. Yeah, and you.
Oh, cool.
And when you come out and you say, I was elbow down like this. I said, no, look at the video, upright like a pole.
No, you weren't.
You know, like, but it's good because you can see yourself. Yeah. So we don't go out and say, okay, now go play 100 laps, go. No, we have sessions and we focus. Like, I give them tasks. This is something that it's extremely important when you ride the bike. Even if you go by yourself on a track day and you want to improve, give yourself tasks. Yeah, work with a GoPro camera, work with whatever, Insta360, work with the action camera and improve yourself, but watch yourself. But you need to understand that, if your mate passes and you want to go, no, you need to be disciplined about it and slowly work on yourself. Yeah. As soon as you have a target, that's something that you can do. Like, you work towards that goal. As soon as you achieve, move to the next one. And I can guarantee that by the end of doing this for a year or 6 months, you're going to be way faster than that guy who flew past you. Yeah.
How long are the camps?
The
How
camps,
long is each camp?
they're 3 days with an optional of a fourth day of flat track, which I know in the States it's huge.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, cool.
And now in Spain
Yeah.
became huge as well, because you understand and you can control what the tire is doing. When the tires go sideways, you're not, no, you're relaxed. You kind of
Right,
expect
right.
it, you know? But funny, like 2 out of 10 people, they can't do the third day. They said, no, we're done. Like we can't. Yeah, because it's
Right.
extremely intense. Yeah. Imagine
Sure.
you stay at the
Sure.
track, you eat at the track, you train. Like it's a proper training camp. And like I'm not the type of guy who's gonna sugarcoat things. I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is. Like you want to improve? Yeah. Listen to what I'm saying. You want to do you?
Right, of course, you got experience. I mean,
Yeah.
you've done so many races in your life. You've got a resume of accomplishments and these hard courses that you've done yourself. So, Alex, let me ask you this. I mean, as a former champion, guy who's always taken on the role, in any challenge that comes his way as far as any course and race, to now you're teaching others, you're passing your skills and knowledge to others, especially the younger riders. From what I've read, a few of your guys have received sponsorships based on the training you've provided them and now are moving up in the ranks in the races. It's got to be a pretty cool feeling, no? I mean, like to know what, even though you're getting older and you may not be racing anymore, but to be able to pass that knowledge on to others and watch them succeed. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So it's a very funny thing, because a lot of people, they're asking me, do you miss racing? Do you miss racing? And I always tell them no. And most of my former colleagues, teammates, they missed it. They miss it. But for me, for example, if you guys come to me and at the end of the day, you're like, wow, you can see you're excited and you learn something new. For me, that's achievement. Like, and now this year we created an academy. It's the first academy in the UK, which all the kids from the academy, I live through them, like I race through them, because I'm telling them I'm working with them at all levels, from training actually on the bike to how to behave on track, how to behave in the paddock, how to behave, race strategy and things like that. Like, and you tell them to do something and you see the result. For me, that's like equals every single win that I've done in my life.
Yeah, man.
You know, like
that's cool.
It's so good. Like, and so much potential in the kids. So I've helped them. We created the academy, and the academy we started with 4 kids, and we added 1 more. They're racing different levels. So they're racing BTC, British Talent Cup, which is the road to MotoGP. We have 9, 11, 12, 13, and 15 years old.
Wow.
And now, what we were speaking before we went live, I'm preparing because this weekend is the last weekend of racing, is the last round of the championship. We're going in the championship, one guy leading by 32 points. We have another guy in 3rd place, which he's trailing by, I think it's 14 points. And the other one in 4th place. So we're aiming to win this, because if you win this championship, you're qualifying for the world finals, which are going to be Ovale World Finals in Valencia in November. And people from all over the world, they come from the States, they come from Malaysia, they come from India, like from all of these championships around the world. You gather the top 2 and you put them to race against each other at the end of the year. And it's an amazing experience, because they are treated exactly like a MotoGP rider. They get free leathers, they get free helmets, they get exactly the same bike. They get the paddock experience. They get
and what about you? What does your organization Like, what does your company get when these guys are winning? I understand that you get recognition because these kids are coming from your academy and now they're doing cool things and winning. But do sponsors come to you at this point in time, or
So-
are you still kind of a individual business?
So me, rent a pit bike, it's separate than the Rap Riders Academy. It's still rent a pit bike. It's the short Rap, RAP, so from rent a pit bike, Riders
Mhm.
Academy. But this is a zero transparency, like zero incomes. We don't get anything. Like if you guys want to sponsor Rap Riders Academy, and let's say you give us $100, the $100 we divide it by 4, and we put it by 5, sorry, and we give $20 to each kid individually for training, for petrol, for whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we don't
Sure,
get anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying
That's
to
cool.
bring. I brought a couple of sponsors on board, and I'm trying to bring sponsors on board. We're always the main question. I'm trying to use all my knowledge that I gathered through the years to understand better the sponsors. And because if you go to the sponsor and say, "Hi guys, can you give us £100 and we're gonna put your sticker on the bike," it's nowadays it's what can I do for you? Like when I go and do a presentation, I speak 10 minutes about the guys. They don't, if you go to a corporate and somebody sends you to the financial guy or whatever, they're not going to care that your kid won 16 races out of 16. No.
Right.
We speak 10 minutes about the team and 40 minutes of what we can offer. So with this approach, we managed to get a couple of people on board, but still comparing to when I was racing, it's so hard to get, even at this level, it's so hard to get sponsorship. And
I'm sure.
Really?
yeah. And this, it's like, if you think I won my first European out of 4 from the back of my van, that thing now it's impossible. 100% impossible to do. Yeah, because
Why is it harder to get sponsors
Because
now
imagine-
than it was back then? Is it more racers or what? what's going on?
not even that. Motorsport always has been a bit of a odd placement of, like, okay, if you're we don't speak about Formula 1 and MotoGP, because honestly, in motorsport, those are the only ones who paid riders.
Right.
Everybody else makes it from the sponsors. So you get, for example, a brand of helmets to help you. Okay, they don't give you money, but they give you helmets. You know, a brand of leathers. They don't give you money, they give you leathers. You crash or you grow out of them, especially with kids. And the problem where it lies, in my own honest opinion, and this is worldwide, is not just in the UK, they're spending too much money at kids level. At kids level, they should be like, I've seen somebody coming with hospitality for kids. Like, come on. And you see a dad with his son coming from with a van. Yeah, so he finished work on Friday afternoon and he jumps in the van, drives for 6 hours for his kid to race. And the other guy comes with a huge lorry. We have a lorry as well, but that because we got it from a sponsor. It's not like we went and we spent 20,000 on a race lorry, but we use the race lorry just for the kids. We don't use for people. They have all sorts of, I don't know, they give you barbecues and things like that. It's still kids level. Should be the cheapest thing that you can do, you know? And honestly, I don't understand why parents, they spend so much money in their kids when they're 12, 13. Yeah, like they push so much money into them, because if that kid tomorrow turns back to you and said, I don't want to race anymore, nobody cares that you've done 3 remortgages to put your kid through racing and things like that. Like, let it be fun till a certain age. And when it becomes a bit serious, then start from there. But if you collected money, like there are a lot of people who collect money for kids that are 8 years old. They ride mini bikes, mini motos. Like, why would you want sponsor? What? Because by the time that you finish racing, like, by the time that you start actually racing, like a mini GP or something, like a proper bike, not a mini moto, you already tapped in that guy. He paid you for 3-4 years. He's not going to give you, now you go, he was giving you $1,000 and now you go to him and say,
Right.
I need $2,000. Like, tap into him when you actually become a bit more serious, like, and that's a problem of the organization, because they allow modification and things like that. Like, you should have a control tire. You should have one set of, like, this ovale cup. The idea of it is very good. The execution is bad, but the idea is the same bikes, same tires. The problem, the engines. Like, in my team, so in between 3 riders that they race in the 160s, we blew up 9 engines. So one kid, one kid 5, the other one, so one kid 5, one kid 3, and the other one 2. No, the other one 1. So 9, 5, 3, 1. So, and imagine, okay, it's not super expensive, but it's still, you pay $500 for an engine. We're speaking already for $4,500 only in engines, plus entry fees, plus fuel, plus get there, plus brake pads, plus oil, plus. So
yeah, it adds up.
Right. That's what I'm telling you. Nowadays, you wouldn't be able to do that, because this happens at kids level. Imagine when you jump to,
that's crazy,
bigger bikes, more tires, more like I've seen in the UK, a parent spend £1,000, which is like $1,300, on one qualifying session. He bought tires, like, he was buying tires, new set out. Come on, like, and imagine,
and I thought ballet was expensive.
Yeah, and then look, but the problem, you know what's the problem? The problem is that the kid who comes with his dad on a van, that he turned, like me, the tire 6 times the other one way or another, sees that this guy has a brand new tire, and he goes to his dad, he put a brand new tire, and then already he's in his mind, like, you shouldn't allow to do this at kids level. At kids level, you should give them one front tire, 2 rear tires for the whole,
Right.
That's it.
Learn how to grind before you get to, the luxury vacation, man.
So with my kids, what I do, because funny enough, one of the kids, when he joined the academy last year, his dad had this mentality, like, he came, so we came for a training session, he came with his ovale, tire warmers on, generator, said, hey, tire warmers off,
slow down,
brand new
brakes,
tires,
man.
I said, take the tires off, put some scrubs. No, take the fairings off, let's go. Oh, no tire warmers, what? I said, listen, when do you think he's going to understand how the tire gets into temperature, and when the tire starts to slide, when he's going to learn to control it?
Right.
If he doesn't control it, warming it up, like, and he said, okay.
And you're also creating crutches on the kids too, because they're going to think that I can't race because I have to have my new tires. I need to have.
And when we go to Spain, because I take them to Spain to train, we train on scrubs till the strings they come out. And when the strings they come out, they need to be in 2 seconds of the fastest lap around that track. That's how we train. That's how we maintain the costs low, because this is a very expensive sport.
Yeah.
So like this, it should be, from my point of view.
So you've got a lot of cool things going on with your businesses. You've got the academy now. Does the academy have a website?
We have just Instagram.
Rent a Bike.
We're working on the official. We're working now on the official.
You got to get the wifey moving on that, man.
Yeah.
So we'll link up
it's a bit hard
Instagram
because
for the
we have a 1.5-year-old one and another one on the way. So,
congrats!
Thank you. So
nice.
Thank you. So
congratulations,
just a little bit, a little bit of a busy household.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Well, so that speaks to the question I have for you. I'm curious, what's your vision? So you've got these different irons in the fire with the business. what's your vision for the next 5 years? Do you plan on focusing on one particular aspect more, or do you plan on continuing to grow and scale as you have?
I think I grew enough for one person to deal everything, because I train on the simulator, I train on tracks. The problem with that, so now I'm training people that they've been with me for years, for them to take off this responsibility. So somebody to train the Moto Trainer, I don't need to be there. I have somebody who I trust completely, like the guy who won the championship last year, who finished second, sorry. He can do that because I want to move that side of the business to him. I'm going to be I'm going to supervise what they're doing. Also on the training side of things, I'm always going to be there, but supervising, not getting involved. Anyway, I still ride. I love riding with the kids. I love riding, like they keep me young. That's for sure. And, but for the next 5 years, I'm planning to delegate this type of work to other people, and me focusing on taking the kids that I have now in the academy and taking them closer to MotoGP. I want to focus on their road.
Dude. Right.
That's
cool.
So imagine he's one of them. So they're 12 now. 5 years time, they're 70. That means 17 years old. So 17 years old, they should already get ready to jump into Moto3 or Red Bull rookies.
Right.
So that's the plan. I have the guy who's 15 years old and we're fighting for the championship, which the plan for him is to take him as much and as quicker as we can to the next level, which he is. He rides the socks of the bike. And we're aiming now to be able to make the Red Bull Rookies trials. So we're gonna be selected to racing the Red Bull Rookies, because now Red Bull Rookies, they've done to all the riders, they allocate a 3-year deal. So that will be amazing.
Deal.
You know, so at least you're in the same paddock for 3 years.
He's going to be racing against our buddy. He's going to be racing against our buddy, Nicholas Wanamacher.
Yeah.
He's the man. What's this kid's name?
So you want me to give you his Instagram? Because he's he's
please.
For sure. We can link it to the notes and people can follow him for sure. Why not?
It's his name is Emmanuel Brinton. I'll send you and you can link it afterwards. His name is Emmanuel Brinton. He's half Ethiopian, half British.
Awesome, man.
Cool. He's the cutest kid you ever seen, because he's very
good kid too.
Very good kid, very good for his age.
Humble,
very
nice.
humble, very hardworking. Like, was a storm the other day, and he went and he did his 10K running. Like, he's very disciplined. An amazing family, and he's very well behaved, very humble, but extremely fast. He's deadly on a bike.
That's cool, man.
Nice.
You know, like the perfect combination.
He's got that, we call it, he's got the it factor, you know, he's humble, he works hard, he trains hard, he pays attention to his body and his mind, and he gives back. So that's cool, man.
So
we'll definitely we'll follow him on Instagram too.
Imagine,
just kind of see his progress go through.
Imagine 15 years old, he's
it's crazy.
He's taking care of his diet. He's swimming on a daily basis, cycling on a daily basis, or running on a daily basis, plus training on the bike. And when we train, I keep him on a bike for 3 hours straight.
Whew.
So when we do the training, you know, so because as I've told you, we always train with the purpose. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question before we get into the speed round. Is there anything maybe we didn't touch on that you want to let the audience know about before we get into the speed round questions?
I think I've said enough.
Pretty good.
Well, I think I said enough about me.
Cool.
Right on.
All right, buddy. Listen, hey, here's the deal. You got 2 minutes on the clock for the speed round questions. If you make the 2 minutes, all right, Ben will send you $1,000. But if you don't make the 2 minutes, then you let Ben and I come train with you for
100%
for 3 days.
Even if I make it, you can come and train.
All right, sounds good, buddy. All right, you ready to rock?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
What is the best motorcycle you have owned or ridden?
In the Augusta.
Okay, nice. Good one. If you could have any superpower to use while riding, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Good answer.
Best place you ever rode and why?
Brno. I won my first European Championship there.
Sweet. What's your guilty but go-to pleasure for alcoholic beverage? And if you don't drink, what's your go-to snack?
Very nice glass of wine, but not more than that.
Okay. What kind of wine do you like?
Depends. It's a
You like
variety.
You like white or red?
No, red.
Oh, okay. Whatever is it. Red. Yeah. Red. All right. If you could time travel, which era would you visit and why?
1960s.
19 say why?
Because I love old classic cars, especially old American cars. And I think the 1960s was the best era to live in for that. And also the racing was not so restricted, like so mediatized. Like you could say whatever you wanted. Like pure
Right.
racing.
It was pure.
Yeah.
Pioneers, yeah, the pioneers came out of that for sure, no question. That's a good one. Favorite motorcycle movie of all time?
Probably a documentary about bikes, something bike related movies. I don't.
Documentary type? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Maybe I ride.
All right.
Maybe I ride.
Okay. Yep. Who was your movie crush when you were a teenager?
Crush. Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock? All right. That's good. If you could meet and have dinner with one person, past or present, who would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. Needs to be from the industry or all around.
Oh no, just anybody you want, past or present. If you
Johnny
just
Depp.
sit down and have dinner with
Johnny
someone.
Depp.
Johnny Depp. You mean first male to ever win an argument with a woman? That one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got you. All right, let's go to one law you would change if you were president for the motorcycle community.
Increase the speed limit by 20 miles an hour.
20 miles an hour. Okay.
For motorcycles
if
only.
you could get up on yeah, for sure. If you can get up on stage and sing or jam with any band, who would it be?
I can't sing. I can't sing
Oh,
whatsoever.
sorry. Let's just say just go. If you can get up on stage
Run
and just
DMC.
hang out with one band.
Run DMC.
Who?
Run DMC.
Run DMC. Wow.
Run
all right,
DMC.
sure.
Let's go.
That's cool. That's a good one. That's the first on the show. All right, awesome. What's
tricky.
I'm old.
What's the best prank you? Old man, come on, man, shit. I remember when Run DMC just came out. You weren't even born yet. All right, so let's do this. Next one is what's the best prank you ever pulled on a fellow rider?
I took out his fuel out of the tank.
So when he went to take off, that's funny. That's cool. All
you,
right,
you have no idea how much he pushed the bike because he was a till the battery drained, and then he started to push. Him and his mechanic, they have their cuffs. They were like this.
That's so funny. Man.
Yeah,
That's funny. If you could challenge any person to a motorcycle race, who would it be and why?
Any person.
Any person. If you could just say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna race you," who would it be?
Valentino Rossi.
Oh man, so go for the top. Why the hell not? Right. All right. Last dinner ever. What would it be?
Steak.
Steak. All right. All right. Besides the One Gang Worldwide podcast, of course, what is your other favorite podcast you listen to?
There are few of them that I'm listening to. Most of them bike related. Off-track podcast
Okay.
and all of that. Like I'm listening. I'm trying to stay connected to the motorcycle world as much as I can.
What's going
I'm-
on? The
yeah.
latest. Yeah. The latest.
I'm
thing,
trying.
yep.
I'm trying to stay and to watch every single race. Like I have. I think my wife has a picture. Maybe I'll share it with you guys. Was one Sunday. I had laptop, iPad, and my phone, and I was watching three different races. So I was watching MotoGP on my laptop.
Wow.
I was watching World Superbike on my iPad, and I was watching BSB on my phone. So yeah, like I like to.
All right.
But bear in mind, I'm involved in few of those bits, like BSB. My guy is riding. I have riders there, so yeah, But I love to be involved.
It's a passion, and then you've got something in addition to follow because you know the people that are racing, which is cool. All right. Well, you did it, buddy. You did it. I guess Ben's gonna send you $1,000. So, but hey, listen, Alex. Seriously, and all goofiness aside, but thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming on the show,
problem.
man. It's awesome. Obviously, awesome to meet you, but to hear the journey where you came from and now you giving back and teaching others to do, to be great racers and disciplined and follow the right rules, man. Just awesome to see, man. And we're excited to follow your progression as your company builds.
Thank you.
And we're going to follow you, man. And maybe once this kid wins the national championship, we'll have you and him back on the show.
I'll
kind of talk a little bit.
So
we can ask him about you and we could get a point of view from somebody else.
They love me and they hate me. So
they have to.
I'm fun to be around, but I'm so strict with them, and I like for them there's small things, like I put them to carry their own ladders. I'm putting them to pack them up because they like, Dad, can you help me? Dad, no. With me, doesn't work like that. You need to do it because you want to race. Racing, it's all of this, not Dad, help me.
That's right.
So
that's right.
That's how to teach.
Yeah, and I'm to go politically correct. I'm bullying them.
Oh, you guys, you gotta
Like,
have tough love, man. This youth,
No, but-
this youth is.
but
Some of this youth is very weak.
Yeah, no, but I'm super proud of them. Like they work so hard. Like we have a group chat only with the riders. It's called Rap Fitness, and every single day they go out for a run, for cycling, for walking, eating healthy. They post what they eat. They're posting their workout that they do indoors. Like they're
Very
super
cool.
disciplined, and that for me, I'm so proud of them. And I'm trying to implement the meanness in them. Like I'll give you a short story. This guy that he's leading the championship now, he was riding small wheels, 12-inch. So he had the 17-inch wheel. So I said, let's try, because it's hard to do the jump, especially when you're 12 years old, from a 12-inch to a 17. The bike is more heavy, more gyroscopic effect. So I was pulling him along, like, let's go. I was giving him tasks, like, you need to overtake me here, here, and here. No excuses. Because like that, I take his mind off corner to he's looking to overtake. Like I give him a different task.
Given something to focus on.
So like that, the lap time drops, because if I tell him go fast here, he's like, but if I give him a different task, like, I think this is, I can call it one of my best qualities. I can make training fun. So they think they're having fun, because, for example, I'm jumping to another thing. I put them the whole night after we finished training. I said, go out and play with the rear brake, destroy the tire, like just go in a circle and destroy the tire. And he was like, man. But next day, and they had so much fun. Next day, can we do it again? I said, okay, do a couple of laps. But when I went back on track with them, I said, okay, in this corner, you break down the gears. Remember what you did yesterday? Try to lock the wheel. So like this, they learned to use the rear brake as well. So
they get excited when that clicks for them too.
So going back to the story. So I was pulling this kid along, and his average lap time was around 56s with that bike. So I went to 55s. He still overtook me. Okay, I said, so he's 100% focused. So I went straight to 53s. So we passed his braking point flat out. He didn't even realize. He braked, so he waited for me to brake. So I braked, he braked, and the corner was coming immediately. So he tried to lean and he panicked because he was going way too fast. And I said, you're never going to make this. So I lifted the bike. He braked, locked the front, when
shit.
his bike went onto my bike, I jumped up, crashed in between the bikes.
Oh, jeez.
My bike caught
Gosh.
my leg, his bike caught my arm, literally ripped open my suit. Yeah, my helmet destroyed. I was tumbling with them. Anyway,
Holy crap.
he got scared. He started crying. His dad came. He started shouting. And I said, "Oh!" I would have been more upset if he didn't pull the move.
Yeah.
Like this, you learn.
It didn't
You
learn
need to
anything.
understand why you crashed, because I went way too fast and I didn't see the braking marker. That's what I wanted to hear. I don't care that I crashed.
Right,
I knew
right.
the risks when I was riding with you close like this. Yeah, so I said I would
Right.
have been more upset if you didn't try to overtake. You know, so
Yep.
Yeah, he'll never forget that.
yeah, no, but I make sure he never forgets that, because I always say, you destroyed my helmet, limited edition helmet, and you destroyed it.
That's
In all fairness, the
That's
poor kid wanted to raise money to buy the helmet, and when he saw the helmet is like $1,400, I can't
Yeah.
afford that. I said, don't worry, I don't need the helmet. I don't need the helmet. It's okay.
It was cool he thought about
Yeah. No,
Good
he's a
kid.
very,
Yeah,
very
for
good kid.
sure.
That's good.
And if he wins the championship, I'm gonna tell him now when we go to the weekend. I'm gonna bring it over so you can guys have a chat with him. You're gonna laugh.
Hey, and
He's,
can you keep
Heck yeah.
us can you keep us updated like after the races, and let us know how everybody's
Yeah.
doing?
yeah.
All
I
right,
will.
awesome, man.
We had Nicholas Wanamaker, a younger racer out of the UK. He spent time in Spain. He might still be
No,
there. right
he's
now,
living in
actually,
Spain
but
full time. He trains
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
Yeah, he lives in.
with his dad in the apartment. But it was cool because we got that same exact sort of, he's super disciplined, hyper focused for that age is just wild. So that'd be cool to talk to Emmanuel also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can we can set up something with Emmanuel 100%. You know, like
Give us an
he
update on his
has-
next
Cool.
race.
Alton Park in 2 weeks time.
Okay.
Yeah, we did
Cool.
the mistake last round. We did a mistake. But it's racing at the end of the day.
Of
He-
course.
He got caught in the slipstream and went wide. When he rejoined, he saw the asphalt full throttle, but the front wheel was on asphalt, the rear wheel was on the grass, so he span out.
Oh, so
Slid
catapulted.
out.
Yeah, no, he slid out, but we lost a couple of points. But we still have like 3 more rounds, so 75 points for grabs. We're trailing 30, so I'm not worried. For me, till mathematically,
All right, cool.
it's impossible to win the championship. I 100% believe in.
That's
Wow.
cool.
You know, like
That's cool. This is really
Yeah,
cool,
sure.
man. Alex, thank you so much. For
No
joining
problem,
us,
no
man.
problem.
This is
Thanks, buddy.
nuts. We
Thank
gotta
you
have
so
on
much.
again.
Keep teaching those bright young minds out there, man.
I will.
Looking forward to following the journey.
Perfect. Cheers. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Yeah.
buddy. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Alex.
See you.
Cheers.
Bye,
Have a
bye,
good
bye.
one.
You too, buddy.